welcome to Friday Nights with Emma. Hope everybody's doing well. What a lovely day today. It was here anyway. It turned out absolutely no clouds in the sky. There was a few today. I think it started off a bit damp. I think it rained overnight. But nice and cold. But nice, not cold, yes. Hence why I'm still bundled up, because I'm still feeling cold from today. Anyway, cheers. Sauvignon Blanc tonight. Got the standard in. Hope everybody's doing well. Let everybody join. Give everybody a minute to join. Just give us a little thumbs up, little heart. Let Mikey know that you're watching. Mikey's on camera again tonight.
Cheryl is watching.
Oh, hi Cheryl.
Sarah is watching.
Oh, hi Sarah. Oh, yeah.
Anne is watching.
Hi Anne.
Caroline is watching.
Hi Caroline.
Judith is watching.
Hi Judith.
Claudia is watching.
Hi Claudia.
Terry is watching.
Hi Terry.
Helen is watching. Carol is watching.
Hi Carol.
Annette is watching.
Hi Annette. Hi Annette.
Diana is watching.
Hi Diana.
Diamond.
Hi Shirley.
She says she loves your jersey.
Oh, thank you. This is my warmest jumper. It's got hairs all over it.
Christine from Glasgow.
Hi Christine.
Sandy.
Hi Sandy.
Said great shows on Sewing Street.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Haley is watching.
Oh, hi Haley.
Your Sarah is watching.
Hi Sarah.
And Karen is watching.
Hi Karen. Right, what I was hoping to show you.
Judy is watching.
Oh, hi Judy. Was continuation of my memory.
Claudia is watching. Looks like you're wrapped up. Is it freezing?
I was caught. Well, I've been on my motorbike all day today, so I was wrapped up, but it still chills you. So I've been feeling chilled.
Jackie is watching.
So hi Jackie.
Dawn is watching.
Hi Dawn. But it was nice. It's nice to get out and in the dry. Yes. So I was hoping to have.
Christina is watching.
Hi Christina.
Sue is watching.
Hi Sue.
Judith is watching.
Hi Judith.
Your mum.
Hello Mum.
Says hope your arm is not sore.
Yes. No, it's actually not too bad. So I had my vaccine yesterday. Yay. The new Moderna one. So the RNA vaccine. I had planned to work from home today.
Brenda is watching.
Hi Brenda. But I didn't need it. It still feels tender, only to touch. It doesn't ache or anything. It's just tender if you touch it. So, you know, obviously don't touch it. But yeah, other than that, I'm feeling great. Second one is booked for July. So next will be you, Sarah. Actually, I'm surprised you didn't get yours done already. Because you're vulnerable.
Debbie is watching.
Hi, Debbie. Michael gets his next week.
Friday.
Yeah.
Sandra is watching.
Oh, hi, Sandra. So, yes, I'm not quite finished with Nanny's dresses and getting them ready. I do have my interfacing. So I've got...
Your Sarah says next week.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Joanne and Mum Maureen.
Oh, hi, Joanne. Hi, Mum Maureen. Oh, here comes Link.
And Barbara's watching.
So I've got all my interfaces.
Joyce is watching.
Out, but I haven't applied it to the jersey dresses yet. So, what I thought I'd show you tonight is a little sneak peek at my next show, which I file away. Usually, so the way it works is Jess, who is my what I call handler at Sewing Street. She's the lady that organises. She's the show planner. So she'll plan shows, and then she'll send me stuff, what she would like me to do, and then we talk about it, and we work together. And she's got, like I said on Thursday, Jess is the one who picks out all the fabrics for my shows. She's got a really good eye. Anyway, I don't tend to...
Sandra is watching.
Oh, hi,
Lorraine
Sandra.
is watching.
Hi, Laurie.
Karen says she got her first jab a week on Thursday.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, so I don't tend to look at my shows. Sometimes she'll send me them overlapping. So I got the brief for my next show before last Thursday, so before I did my show. But I don't tend to look at it too closely because I can only think about one show or one day at a time.
Jeanette is watching.
Hi, Jeanette.
And Annette says had her second jab this week. Thankfully, I wasn't ill as the first time.
Oh, good. So yeah, because I had heard some of them that the second time is actually worse than the first time. But yeah. But I have been told, and you'll get this as well, Sarah and Mikey, next week. We have to go back and we have to get the Moderna one. We can't get another jab, so that's why I think they're booking us 2 appointments at once, because we have to make sure we get the same vaccine.
Well, there's no guarantee we'll get the Moderna. It's whatever they have on the day.
No. She told me.
Oh.
She told me. Make sure you come back here. She's like, if you miss your appointment or you can't make it for whatever day, don't book in at a different test centre. We have to go back there and have it done with a Moderna. So yeah.
Sue says jabs are great, but I had my hair done today.
Oh, I'm jealous. I had my nails done, so Sarah did my nails. Thank you. But my hair isn't going to be done till next Tuesday, which is fine. I could have had it done sooner, but I figured, what's one more week? And I figured my hairdresser would be swamped with people with mad requests. And it's not like I've got short hair. If I had short hair, I would be going nuts by now and needing it cut. But it's, what's another week when it's already long.
Terry said, had the second jab on Monday. Just a tender arm for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Susan is watching.
Oh, hi, Susan. So, what I was saying about my show. So I finally had a look at my briefs. I did have my briefs. I knew what I was making, but I didn't have the book at the time. So I had a look at the book that Jess wants me to make a quilt of. And
Ross is watching from Derbyshire.
Oh, hi, Ross.
And Jeanette said, had second jab next week. Didn't get side effects from anything. Yes, you have to have the same jab.
Yeah.
Also had her hair done and nails done.
Nice. Yes, I feel half of a new woman now. So I'll show you what the quilt looks like. It's a nice traditional. So that's the quilt. That's what it looks like. It's a nice schoolhouses in a red and white with some free motion quilting around it. Now, I pulled out the templates that it says to use and reread the instructions, and that quilt is 9.5 inches square. So I haven't done minis before, so this is going to be a new venture. So I've got some homework to be doing. The templates are tiny. I think it's going to be really fun. Really fun.
Karen says she has her hair booked for next Wednesday. Sarah says, oh, I have that book. There's so many I want to try.
Yes, it is a lovely book. This is Jess's copy. She's lent it to me because it didn't come with the pack that she sent. But yeah, there's some stunning ones. If you're into trapunto and free motion, that's a gorgeous one. I wouldn't start off with that one, but isn't that gorgeous?
Christine asks, how's Link? Is he missing his buddy Monty?
Yeah.
Not as much as his papa.
No, that is true. I don't think anybody could miss Monty as much as his papa. But he does, yeah.
Karen says, oh, I love the house quilts. Look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Jackie says, houses chosen for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And Sue says, that's quite different. I like it. And
oh, this one's quite fun. This would be a nice, fairly simple one. Looks like it's just strips, but it gives you a chance to do different kinds of free motion quilting in all of the strips.
Joanne says, yay, a mini. And she also asks, is it FPP?
It is partly FPP. There's a tiny bit of applique and free motion quilting. I actually quite like this one. I'm not sure I'd do it in this colourway. Oh, there's a different one. There's pineapple. So there's one pineapple. And that one is 14 by 14. It's a little bit bigger. But I really like this. I do like a red and blue.
Terry says, have to wait until the 7th of May for haircut, but her husband went to the barber's on Tuesday to make an appointment, and they cut it then.
Oh, nice. I like that one.
Karen says, yeah, I love miniature sewing. That will be amazing.
It's going to be a bit of a learning curve. That's the one I'm doing. It's on my list of ones to do, so now I'm having to do it, which is good.
Jackie.
Oh, and this one is gorgeous. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. I really like that. And I think it's the fabric. It's not, I think it probably is. It probably is all the same fabric, but different parts of it. So it's different shades of the same fabric, I think. Which you can easily do when it's miniature, but I love that.
Jackie asks, where's Monty? Unfortunately,
Oh, Jackie. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to put Monty to sleep 2 weeks from Monday.
Easter Monday. Yeah, Monty crossed the Rainbow Bridge, which was not a good day for anybody. Well, started off. It was a good. It was bittersweet. Put it that way.
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
Joanne says applique looks scary, but I do like FPP.
Yeah, it was very tiny. The only applique bits are little hearts in the middle.
Judith says that looks like quite a challenge, but gorgeous.
Yeah. So I already know some things I need to do. So that's what I was just looking through my needles when you guys joined. So one thing I know I'll definitely need is Microtex needles, which I tend to use for piecing and free motion quilting anyway. These are Schmetz Microtex. I think different brands call them different things. So they can also be called sharps. I think quilting needles is another name. Basically, what makes these different from a regular needle is the tip between the eye and the tip is a little bit longer and sharper, and the eye is a slightly different shape as well. So it's a little bit more, I'll say pointy, very technical term. It's more pointy than a regular needle. But what it does is it helps to penetrate through all the layers when you're quilting, but also because it's got such a fine tip, rather than going through the fabric and it piercing any of the threads in the fabric, it's fine enough that it goes in between the threads rather than through a thread. So there's that. And then for the miniatures in particular, you have to reduce your stitch length quite a bit because, let me see, where is it?
Caroline asks, can you use them on any machine?
Oh yeah. It's just a regular sewing machine needle, but it's called a Microtex. So it's along the veins of like if you were to use a ballpoint needle for jersey, or a jersey needle, or what else have I got? Embroidery needles or things like that. Jeans needles, leather needles. It's the same, in the same vein, but it's called a Microtex, and it's sharper and pointier than a regular needle. And like I said, the eye is a little bit different shape as well.
Your Sarah says, loving the scarf. I must still wear mine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I made good. I made Sarah a scarf from some really nice knit jersey. So it's on page 1. Open it up. This is side 1. So
Judith says, can you show us the blue quilt on the cover, please?
oh yes, I will. Oh yes, because I really liked that one. Let me show you this first though. So this is the actual size of the house paper piecing block. That's the actual size. I don't know if I've got here it is. I don't know if you'll be able to see it though. So that's 2 inches to here. So it's less than 2 inches big. So you've got some pieces in there that are probably about 1/8 of an inch. So some squares in there which are like 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch. So that's another reason to use a finer needle, so you can get some really small stitches, because otherwise you probably would just get one stitch if you had it set to your normal stitch length, which is about 2.5. You only get one stitch in that 1/8 of an inch.
Joanne says, great explanation on the needles. That makes it so much clearer.
Oh, thank you.
Are the templates 100%?
Yes, that is to size. These are to size. That's when I had a little moment when I opened it up.
And
let me show you that.
Sarah asks, have I got my Star Trek material for his PJs yet? No, it's in the mail. When we come out of lockdown, maybe. Jeanette says, so tiny.
Yes.
And Jane says, are you going to make the quilt partly on a Friday night?
Yeah, I could do. Show you my progress next week. Oh, look at that.
And Sheila is watching from Litchfield.
I will show you the blue one, but look at that. Isn't that to die for?
And Jackie says, is that even possible? And Claudia says, I always love houses on a quilt.
I haven't done a house quilt. If you've bought the Quilts book, which is my favourite beginner book, that does have a schoolhouse quilting it, so the houses.
Joanne asks, will you trace the templates onto freezer paper or photocopy?
I will trace them onto freezer paper. I was thinking about that today. I think that's going to be the easiest. Because they're so tiny, and you need as 9, I think. I think it'd just be as easy to trace them out. And the freezer paper, I think, will be fine enough. Even that's actually finer than the proper foundation paper, piecing paper that I've got that you would put into a printer.
Jane says, great, as I have the book and would love some tips.
Here's the blue.
Is that the cover?
Yeah. The other thing which I will do, and I'm pretty sure I've got some beige somewhere because I bought tons. Yeah, I really like that. That one is, and slightly bigger, so a little bit easier. 22 by 22 inches. These miniature quilts, they really are. If you ever go to the Festival of Quilts and you look at the miniature quilts, those are one of my favourite categories because they really are amazing little works of art.
Sandy says, I think I would prefer to do a wonky house quilt.
Oh, that would be good.
And Sarah says, the blue looks cozy.
Yeah, that's nice. But 22, it's not super huge.
Deborah says, love blue.
I do love a blue quilt.
And Karen says, that's possible huge.
So the other thing that I will be doing...
And Jeanette says, would look good on sage green and cream.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do like a sage green. I do have some. So I will probably use, for thread, because it's finer, some bottom line, which is polyester. We'll see how it goes. I think it should be fine. I'm only hesitant because I have pieced with bottom line before. And one thing you have to be careful is when you are winding your bobbin, because this is polyester thread has a little bit more, well, it has more stretch in it than cotton thread. Especially this one, which is good for some things, but when you're winding the bobbin...
Diana says, I need more than Specsavers to help me out.
Oh. Yeah, so it's very strong, it's very fine, and it has some stretch. So when you wind the bobbin, if you wind it too fast, there is a chance that you could stretch it while it winds, and that adds a little bit of tension on your bobbin. So that if you're sewing and it's puckering up and you're not quite understanding why, and you're using this thread, it could be because you've wound your bobbin too quickly and there's a little bit of tension built in to that wind. That makes sense.
And Judith says, love that one, blue is her color. Agree about miniatures at festivals are fab.
Yeah, I do love to go. And I always, when I take a picture, I usually either, because you have to have my glasses to see distance, I put my glasses up against it so you can see, or something up against it so you can tell the actual size, because otherwise it just looks like a big quilt. They're so perfect. Oh yeah, what was I going to say about the other thing I was going to say about that? So that's bobbin. Be careful when you wind your bobbin. In general, when you wind your bobbin, you should wind it, even if it's cotton, at the same speed that you would normally stitch at, just to make sure that the tension is going to be the same, so it's not off.
Judith says that thread really messed up her machine.
yeah, it's you do have to be careful with it. So I would wind the bobbin on the slowest speed, basically, and then also when you're sewing with it, especially for piecing, because I have pieced a regular quilt with it, because it's so slippy, because it's polyester, I find that there's a block.
Judith says maybe I wound the bobbin too fast.
It could be, because I did that. I learned from my mistake, because I definitely did that, and it was definitely puckering, and it was a pain. So, if I show you, so this is a normal block. So here at the ends, this is done with cotton. I haven't picked some of it, so it's a mess. But where the join is, even though that is not lock stitched, it's staying together really well. I mean, it will come apart a little bit if you pull on it, and eventually it will if you tease it. But I find with polyester, that unraveling is a lot quicker than with cotton thread. And that's just because it's more slippy, so that it has less grip anyway. So these seams tend to fray a lot easier when you use polyester thread. So you will have to be careful of that.
Your brother's watching.
Oh, hi, Simon.
And Claudia says that's helpful, as I've never heard that before about the winding at the speed. I see. I'll keep that in mind from now on.
Yeah, just something to think. I know very often I'm guilty of it. I'm like, just get this done and put it on the fastest speed to wind my bobbin, because, you know, who wants to waste time winding their bobbin? But it is worth the extra minute or so to do it. And if it's only, especially if you're having trouble with tension, that might be one of the things that you think about doing, is just reducing that bobbin wind speed, basically. But saying that about the polyester coming unravelled, I think because it is paper pieced, I think it's going to be okay. And I think I'll have to read what she says, but just between you and me, I might cheat and I might leave my papers in because it is so tiny, and it is just going to be a sample.
Sue,
I might not rip them out.
Sue asked, do you always use cotton to sew quilt blocks together? Then I use Gutterman polyester. Maybe I should change.
I tend to use cotton. Gutterman polyester would be okay. The main reason I think to use cotton is because then all the fabrics, all the threads are the same. All the, what do I want to say? Can't find the word. Joe usually helps me. Joanne and Mum Maureen usually helps me find the word. But yeah, all the same sort of material. So it's all cotton all the way through. But the polyester, the main thing about it is that it doesn't shrink. So when you wash it, you won't have a worry about it puckering. So I don't think it's a problem if you use 100% polyester, Gutterman 100% polyester, because it doesn't behave the same way as this does. You might want to check it. So just pull a length out and see how stretchy it is, if it does have any stretch in it. If it does, then definitely that trick of winding your bobbin at the same speed or on a slow speed, so that you don't have a risk of anything stretching when you wind it on, will be fine.
Joanne says, do you mean that all the components are the same content, i.e. cotton?
Yes! Fabric content. Fibre content. That's it. See, I knew. See, we're telepathic. She knows what I mean. Usually when I'm on Sewing Street, Vicky does it for me. She finishes all my sentences and helps me get my words out.
Judith says, you're a fount of knowledge.
Oh, bless you.
Really appreciate learning from your expertise.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is definitely going to be a learning curve. So,
it's just smaller in scale.
Says he.
I mean, it's the same, just smaller.
I'm actually wondering about, thinking about the paper, I'm actually wondering about maybe tracing it onto some really fine, you could do some really fine muslin, something that won't, sorry, I'm just going to reach over because this is my, part of my This is my baking paper. This is my pattern piece for my coat. It's a bit crinkled. But I think that will work really well, actually, tracing it on that, because it's really fine. And I think it will help it. It might, we'll see. See if I take it out or not.
Debbie says you're not alone, not knowing a word you need. And Sue says tissue paper?
Not necessarily tissue. Well, yeah. That might. That might be good actually, because that would rip very well, wouldn't it? I think I've got some white tissue paper. Yeah, the sort of tissue paper that you put in like the gift bags. I think that would work well, because then that would be easy to rip. I just don't want it to rip too easily. I'll have to do some experimentation, see which one works the best.
Karen says I should give it a go. Then I won't. I was only teasing anyway. Joanne says I use pattern trace paper for FPP. It's so clear, much clearer to see than other FPP.
Okay. Well, the only thing that I'm concerned about was this, because...
And Jane asks, how about using a non-fusible Vilene?
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. So something like this that I just got.
And Jackie says, what about tracing onto fine interfacing? And Joyce asks,
yes, that was also
thinking. Can you repeat what book you said was excellent for beginning quilters? Thanks.
Quilts.
It's the second edition.
Second edition. It's a blue one. You can pan to the...
No, you keep going out.
No, you pan to the bookcase and we can find it together. If it's here.
I don't actually see it here.
Oh, maybe I put it into my box where I have all my beginner quilting stuff. It is a blue book. It's called Quilts. I don't even have the third edition handy. I do have it on my website, but that's the book I started on. It's the second edition. There's 3 editions now. Anyway, and it's Quilts, 1 exclamation point, Quilts, 2 exclamation points, and then Quilts, 3 exclamation points.
When was it published? Do you remember?
Oh, originally in the late 80s, I think. The very first edition, I think, was in the late 80s. And then the second edition would have probably been the late 90s. Ah, here's part of it. This is the... I don't use this anymore, but this is
there you go.
Instructor's guide from it. But this is basically what the cover looks like for the second edition. That's the name of it, and it's by Diana McClung and Laura Nouns.
And Sandy asks, can you use stitch and tear?
I think I'm going to try some different things. I'm going to try the Vilene. The stitch and tear, I think, will be too thick, because that one little tiny square is literally 1/8 of an inch square finished. So I'm going to try some of my baking paper. I'm going to try some tissue paper. I'm going to try some lightweight interfacing, because then you could actually leave it in. And I think that might also add... This is the lightweight one. I think it will also add some stability. So I think I might go with this. Don't think it'll add too much weight and thickness to it, but I think it will add enough to sort of keep everything together. I think that might be the best bet, actually.
Christine apologizes for being late, but she's been watching a program on Netflix. She'll be having nightmares. The series is called The Alienist. And actually, if you're scared of this series, the books are even worse. I've read the book The Alienist by Caleb Carr, and the sequel to follow that. They are bone chilling.
Okay. I just seem to remember that was a book.
Yes.
Okay. But talking of
Linda says it's a brilliant book. Looked at it again this weekend. Joanne says pattern trace is great. It's good for accuracy, as you can draw print onto it.
Okay.
Should she send you a link?
Yeah, if you could, I'll have a look. I am kind of leaning towards the interfacing.
She says it's Swedish tracing paper.
Oh, okay.
Diana's watching.
Hi, Diane.
And Christine says, I use stitch and tear for FPP. If you cut it to an A4 size, you can put it through your printer.
Yeah, the only I would say anything normally for FPP would be great. The only thing I'm concerned about is because this is on such a small scale that I don't think you're going to want to be ripping anything out.
Sue also watched the Alienist Fabulous series. I would recommend, if you haven't, to read the books. If you enjoyed the series, the books are far superior. Kathleen, in my opinion. Kathleen says, I think I would have to enlarge the templates.
Yeah, and make it a bigger quilt. Yeah, I don't have that luxury. I'm kind of stuck to the finished quilt bill, 9.5 inches. I'm trying to think. I don't even have my ruler with me, so I can show you for comparison.
There, foot. It's less than a foot. That's again why it's the best measurement system.
But your foot is bigger than my foot.
Yeah, it's just a rough guide, so you know just by visualizing.
But eventually, if we measure everything in feet, if we measured the length of our garden in feet, yours would be smaller than mine.
But it gives you a rough idea to visualize it, doesn't it?
No.
Joanne.
Get into the metric argument.
Joanne says, "When are you on Sewing Street with it?"
Oh, on the 30th. So I've got a couple of weeks yet. Yeah, 2 weeks from today, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Christine asks, could you use soluble interfacing?
I was also wondering about something soluble. But I'll see how we get on. But literally 9.5 inches. I'm just wondering, because that will only be a wall hanging, that'll only be a wall hanging. I don't think it will be too much of a problem to actually leave in anything that you use. I'm a bit concerned about leaving in the baking paper because it sounds crinkly, which isn't a good thing.
Christine asks again, who is the author again?
Oh, Diana McClung and Laura Nouns. It's right there. Quilts. Second edition. Second edition is the better one for us because it's very close to the first edition, except it also gives you your yardage in meters as well as yards, whereas the first edition only gives it to you in yards, which you can convert. But yeah, first or second edition. Second edition has the meterage in it. Third edition, they did a third one. I'm not a big fan of that one, only because the designs of the quilts stay the same, but the fabrics change, and I think they tried to make it more contemporary and more modern, and for me, I don't really like the fabrics that they used. There's not enough contrast in the fabrics that they used. I think they tried to be too clever. That makes sense?
Diamond says she has an 8-foot by 4-foot bookcase. Only 3 shelves have books, magazines on them. Where does all this stuff come from? The rest of my books are balanced on a chair. And Joanne says it won't be a wall hanging. It will be a piece of art. And then Barbara says, I got the book, Emma. You've done some lovely quilts.
Oh, thank you. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I forgot what it was now. I lost my train. I completely lost my train. What was I talking about?
It wasn't about my Star Trek pajamas.
Oh! It was about television shows. That's right. I was going to talk about Sewing Bee. So did everybody watch the Sewing Bee? I won't say any spoilers. I didn't know that was a buffet dress either. I guess I've made a couple of those, not knowing those are buffet dresses.
And
I would have just called it a maxi dress.
Diamond also agrees the books are always better than the movie series. So much is missed out. And,
yes.
and I have to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for the Alien. It's a really good book.
Yeah.
Caleb Carr. And then the sequel. The sequel's not as good as The Alienist, in my opinion, but it is still well worth a read.
I can't remember which one I've read recently that was also a movie. Oh! I was going to show you. Last time I was on with Vicky? The time before I was on with Vicky.
Caroline hasn't seen The Sewing Bee yet, and Diana says she watched The Sewing Bee. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty, yeah. You gotta love it.
And Sandy asked, did you finish your dress?
I did, but I'm not. I think I need to lose a little bit of padding. I'll put it that way.
Jeanette says,
I'll make it bigger next time.
Jeanette says I was in stitches literally when Patrick lost it. And Judith said, never heard the term excuse me, hang on, it jumped. Oh. Never heard the term buffet dress. Where on earth did that come from? I agree. I never heard that either. Karen says, yes, love the sewing bee. Hubby was warned not to disturb me while it was on. And Claudia says, the quilts is a different blue on Amazon and is pretty pricey. Was surprised.
Oh, okay.
Christine says, thank you. I thought I had that book, but the book I have is called Quilting and Patchwork by Catherine Guyere.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still have some copies of it on the website if you need to find it.
And that's such a shame someone has to go on the first week.
It is, yeah.
And then Christine says, enjoyed your sew demo on Sewing Street.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to show you because I think I will be making more of these. One of the dress I was wearing when I was on with Vix, either last time or the time before, was, I guess it's technically a buffet dress. So this is an original Vogue. I can't remember where I got it now. I think off eBay or something. But I really like this pattern. It is so flattering because it, emphasizes what you want to emphasize and completely hides the rest. I did hack it slightly, so I do have some fabric to make another one of those. This was one of those projects where I started it. It's got inspired by a sewing bee. I think they had a 70s maxi dress on one time, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll do that. So I started it, got completely discouraged halfway through, put it all away, and then managed to actually finish it. And I actually really like that dress now. And so there's that one. Oh, if you want that one, it's Vogue pattern. I don't know if you'll be able to find it anymore. Vogue pattern 7630. I added elastic instead of the tie around the waist, but I might try it the proper way as well.
Christine says Joe was flirting quite a lot with one of the contestants. And Karen said, lovely dress, nice sleeves.
He was. I noticed that too. It's cute to watch though. It's cute to see that, I think. Let's see what else. Oh, and these are the fabrics. I completely forgot to show you the fabrics that I'll be using for that quilt. So this is the one. So it's going to be looks like ivory background, and then I have got a lovely navy solid and a nice blue print. Don't know what fabric this is. Oh, it's Wyndham Fabrics. Okay, that makes sense because it looks very Civil War-ish. It's that sort of pattern and colour palette. So even though the pattern I think is just two-tone, I was thinking about doing a pattern on the house roofs, or maybe the other way around. I don't know yet. So I'm going to be playing with that.
Diamond says, unfortunately, V-necks and bit bobs don't make for a good look in her case.
Oh dear.
And Joanne says, the good thing about mini quilts is less fabric.
That is true.
And Jeanette says, we love the fabric.
And this one, this is actually, I have to admit, this is my favourite colourway. It'll be the same cream background, but it's a lovely sort of burgundy deep red.
Yeah, it's lighter on the telly, but it is a dark maroon colour.
It is a very dark maroon colour. And then a lovely grey and red. Same maroon. Same pattern of fabric, just a different colourway. So that's actually my school uniform colours. Which I shouldn't like, but I actually do like it. So we used to have to wear grey trousers or grey skirt and a maroon jumper. And to this day, if I see anybody wearing that combination, I'm like, school uniform. Mum says the same thing too, because we both went to the same school.
Karen says, oh, the red option is lovely.
Yeah, I quite like that. I think that's going to look really good. Let's see what else can I show you. Oh, yeah. And then the other thing, I forgot. another sort of sneak peek. So I'll show you next week. I'll show you how I'm getting on, and we'll talk more about the miniature. Put these together so they don't get mixed up. And then the other thing I'll be demonstrating is another Miniature quilt. So this one, I haven't unpacked everything yet.
FOX.
Yeah, all woodland animals. So I've got a fox.
Actually, I kind of like that. That's quite cute.
I've got bunnies. I like these colours as well because they're nice. It's going to be a children's quilt, so where's the pattern?
Christine says she loves the grey and the red.
That's the pattern. Yeah, I like the grey and red. That's going to be fun. So it looks like it's a nice mix. Very simple. I like the border on it. It looks like a mock prairie point. Even though it's, yeah. I like that. That's what we're doing.
Dawn loves the animal ones.
Yes. Oh, look at this one. Lovely. This is a navy. It's got all the animals on it. Fox. Oh, fox and bunny. I guess it's just foxes and bunnies. And a nice white with trees. Oh, then just a plain white for the background. Then a grey. Oh, this looks stripy. This looks interesting. Oh, I like these fabrics because they're so useful. So this is that selvage. Selvage. Looks like strips. Strips of colour. So it's all one fabric, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different strips of fabric running down the length. Oh, that would be interesting to use. That makes it so useful. I used to love fabrics like this, especially when I started out, when all I had money for was a quarter of something. You could get more bang for your buck. Oh, so that'd be good. And then, what's the last one? Oh, last one is stripes.
Joanne says it's a lolly fabric.
Oh, yeah.
And Dawn says, oh, I need to buy that quilt set.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, gender neutral. I like a gender neutral quilt. That'd be a fun one to do. That one's just going to be a demonstration because I've already got the quilt there.
Christine says nice, and Sue says I see another purchase. And Annette says that would make a lovely striped border.
Oh, that would be nice. Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? Actually, that would make a good set of prairie points, like the way I did it with strips before. But you had different colours rather than having to have the same colour all the way through. I'll tell you what, if this is priced the same as the bug quilt was last week, that will be a good buy.
Christine asks, is that fabric on Sewing Street or your shop?
Sewing Street. But I think I do have 1 or 2 of these. I think I've got the fox. I don't know if it's the same colourway. I'm pretty sure I got a fox because I do have some Miniature fabrics.
You do have foxes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got the fox one for
and
sure.
I think you have the rabbits too.
I'm not sure about the rabbits. I might have this one, the woodland animals, but it might be a slightly different colourway because that doesn't strike me as familiar. Might be a new colourway they've got out.
And Claudia says, just bought the insect quilt you did this week.
Oh, nice.
And Judy says, and I was thinking the same thing. It's a real shame about the quantity of plastic bags.
Well, you know what? They don't go to waste because I save them all. And I reuse them for all sorts of things. So they are not wasted. I don't throw them out. I have got them.
And Jeanette says she needs someone to change her machine needle. Hands too bad now with arthritis at the moment.
You can get... I can't remember who showed it to me. There's a little gadget you can buy that will hold your needle for you while you put it in. So you actually insert your needle. It's like a little plastic, I want to say finger. I don't think it's quite as thick as that. But you stick your needle in it so you don't have to hold on to your needle, and then you insert that into your machine and then tighten it up. So it's like a needle holder. And I'm sure there's something else on the other end of it to, I don't know whether it threads it as well, but it's a really handy gadget.
Diane says she reuses the bag several times. Yes. Christine says I like the panel with the orange. Oh, yes. And Diamond asked, am I doing the plastic recycling this evening? No, that's usually in the morning. Morning is recycling.
Yeah. But that will go in my bag of bags. Because I use these quite a lot.
Yes, I know. I was just being
facetious.
Funny. Yes.
Yeah, no, I like to put my projects in it.
Jeanette says, oh, I'll try to get one. And Joanne says, I have a gadget like that. It's really helpful when I change the needle or the rotary blades.
Oh, yes. That too.
She says it's my husband.
That's funny. Michael wouldn't touch my machines.
No.
Because he doesn't want to be blamed if anything goes wrong on it.
No.
He doesn't touch my car, he doesn't touch my motorbikes, he doesn't touch my machines.
No, I am not getting blamed for anything. Dust, wind, or anything that might happen to him, I'm not nowhere near him.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I don't know what time it is.
It's about 10 to 9.
Oh, 10 to 9. Oh, okay. So we've done an hour. So yeah, sorry it wasn't more. Hopefully that was informative on some bits. I'll have a play with the miniature quilt on different things, on different template material. I'll let you know how it goes.
Joanne says it's a roll that is supervised for the same reason. And Christine says the gadget has a needle threader on the opposite side.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, they're really handy. I don't have one myself.
And your Sarah says, I'm waiting till she asks Tom for bike help. And Claudia says, no word on your coat? Agreed, Claudia. That's
I am working on it.
That's along with my Star Trek pajamas. They're in the same spot.
If you buy your Star Trek fabric, I'll make
No, it doesn't work that way, does it?
Oh, really?
No, really.
Really?
You have the know-how and then the interconnections and stuff like that. And, And Judith says good luck with the miniature quilt this week.
Yeah, thanks. I think, we'll see. It'll be a first to go miniature. So yeah. Well, anyway, everybody have a good weekend, and I will see you next Friday for the miniature quilt. And yeah, hopefully it's supposed to be nice this weekend, so everybody go and get some vitamin D out in the sunshine. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Good night, all.